I've been praying for you.
Morning, Nan.
Oh, that's Dr. Keyes.
Morning, Miss Miriam.
Good morning, Dr. Keyes.
Sarah, I'm delighted to see you. These are the revised budget proposals.
Oh, thank you.
You shouldn't be back this soon. I beg you. You must take as much time as you need. There's no problem.
Oh, don't worry, Dr. Keyes. I just came back to bring in some homework papers and get some things from my class.
You should have told me. I would have sent Louie or Brian.
That's really all right. I've been wanting to thank you for the beautiful flowers you sent.
I'm glad you liked them. I wanted them to cheer you up a little.
They did.
Good, good. May I get you a cup of coffee?
No, thank you.
Well, I'm going to have one because I have to do something to get my heart started. Sarah, I can't tell you how much you've been on my mind. I mean that. Nothing like this has ever happened at Harrison.
Thank goodness.
Our safety record has been very good. This has been a shock for me, too. Oh, that eye.
Oh, it's much better than it was.
Good. Good. When you get back, officially, I think we ought to lighten your class loads. Maybe you should just take the honors classes. Get back to it slowly.
Well, that'd be very nice. Thank you.
Your boyfriend,
Eddie. Eddie Rodeo.
Eddie, of course. I'm sure this has been difficult for him as well. Must have been. Sarah, I think the way that you're handling this is exactly right. Just letting us deal with it internally. And I'm sure that Eddie feels that that's best for you, too, doesn't he?
I think so.
If he has any questions, any concerns, urge him to call me.
Well, we were wondering why we haven't heard from the security people downtown.
They haven't called you yet?
No.
Well, they certainly should have. I'll get Miss Miriam on that right away.
Good.
If either of you or Eddie, would like to talk with someone, it can be very easily arranged. I know counselors, clinical psychologists, psychiatrists, who might be able to give you some insights into your feelings.
Thank you. We'll think about it.
I was talking about you last night with my wife. She's been concerned about you as well. Maybe in a few weeks, you and Eddie could have dinner with us. My wife would like that.
Oh.
I can't tell you how good it is to see you back.
I really should get to my classroom before the kids do.
Good idea. So good to see you again, Sarah. Nan, would you help Miss McDavid get some things from her room?
Certainly, sir.
Goodbye, Dr. Keyes.
Dr. Keyes' office.
I've been thinking a lot about you, Sarah. I just wish I'd answered the buzzer when I heard it first, but Miss Miriam, she
Don't
said...
worry about it, Nan. It wasn't your fault.
I know, but I keep thinking about it anyway. Get out of here. Calm down. Calm down. Try to relax. Come on. Sarah, wait. I'll help you.
to get out of here. Excuse me.
Sarah, please. Relax. Come on, take a deep breath. Listen to me. It happens to me, and when I get upset, I meditate. It helps. Think of something nice, like the sky, something peaceful. Take deep breaths. Come on.
It's okay. Oh. This was all I ever wanted. I used to dream about a place like this. It was perfect. Now I can never come back here.
Listen, I gotta tell you something, Sarah. Before I came here, I couldn't hold a job. Dr. Keyes, he knew about it, but he hired me anyway. He gave me a chance. That was 1.5 years ago.
That was very nice of him.
He doesn't like anybody to know that there's trouble here, you know. But there's so much that goes on here. I tell you, I don't know all of it. But some of the things that they keep me up all night. I know I shouldn't tell you this. Merritt, he got hurt yesterday.
How?
I was just walking down to the chem office, and these kids started shoving me. 3 guys and this girl.
Did you recognize them?
No.
Merritt, look at me. Did you recognize them?
No.
If you did, you have to tell me.
They were running and laughing, and this kid, he hit me.
And that broke your leg?
The baseball bat?
Oh. Well, what did the police say?
Well, Dr. Keyes said the high school would file a report.
Did you give them their names?
No.
Why not?
Because if I did, things would be much worse for me. It's scary being at Harrison. The only good thing about being here is that I don't have to be there. Could you go get me some water?
Sure.
Are you okay? They said you had your purse snatched.
I'm okay. Merritt, did your mother agree with that school report?
She signed it.
Huh. Well, have you done much writing since you've been here?
No.
No. A hospital's filled with stories.
I don't want to write. I don't want to do anything.
Hey, you can't quit writing just because something bad happens in your life.
Miss McDavid?
Hmm?
I don't want to go back there.
Why?
You know, my father probably would have never understood that. He used to talk about his high school all the time, and how much he loved it. He used to say those were the happiest days of his life. There's nothing happy at Harrison. It's a zoo.
Not always.
It's like what Miss Hernandez said. We have to watch out for ourselves all the time.
Mr. Hernandez, no one has ever told me what really happened to your wife.
She fell down a flight of stairs. Mr. Crowell from the English department found her. They got an ambulance and they took her to the hospital.
I was beaten up in your wife's old classroom. I was beaten and I was raped. Dr. Keyes tells everyone that I was roughed up a little. And that's all. And that your wife slipped and fell down the stairs. And that's all. Is that the truth? Mr. Hernandez, is that the truth?
Some kids, students, they were running around the halls. My missus went out of her room and they ran into her. She tried to stop them. And she said, they just kicked her down the stairs. Mr. Crowell found her and rushed her to the hospital. She was okay. I decided to keep her overnight as a precaution. I sat with her for hours. She told me what happened. I left her late that night. When I got back in the morning, it was 8. I was there at 8. I said there was a change. She was unconscious, and she hasn't said a word since. Thanks so much for the flowers. The nurses will like them.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Goodbye.
Vegetable like Mrs. Hernandez. Why didn't someone come when I rang the buzzer the first time? Why did they turn the phones off at 3 o'clock? And why is there only one security guard for a whole damn school?
I don't know. But calm down, you're getting hysterical.
Hysterical? Well, you should have heard my parents on the phone. Don't talk to anyone about this. Why, can you believe it?
They're older people, I can understand that.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means I can understand them.
Do you feel the same way?
Oh, come on, Sarah.
I'm sorry, but I'm angry. I cannot believe that Mr. Hernandez never went to the police. And then there's Merritt. Somehow that man Keyes convinced his mother to say nothing about what happened to him. I find that absolutely appalling.
Wait a minute. What happened to Merritt?
Some kids at school broke his leg with a baseball bat.
His mother agreed to keep quiet about that?
She most certainly did. Well, I'm not going to be one of the quiet ones. The hell with Keyes. I'm going to report the rape. I am. I'm going to the police and I'm going to report it.
When you're there, see if you have to use your name.
What?
Well, you could get your name in the paper.
Would that embarrass you?
No. Of course it wouldn't embarrass me. Just thinking about you. I mean, it could be a lot of publicity.
This violence has to stop.
And your going to the police is going to stop it.
Of course not. But it might help. Somebody has to speak up.
I agree with you, but if you really...
Have I what?
Have you really thought about how difficult it's going to be to go on teaching if this hits the headlines? I mean, most of the parents today think teachers shouldn't be
You don't want me to do this.
I haven't said that.
But you're thinking it.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm asking you to think about it.
Well, I will. You better think about it, too.
So all I can tell you is there'll be someone there shortly. Oh, you haven't been waiting an hour. No, you only called in here 25 minutes ago. I have the log right in front of me. Well, I'll get someone out there as soon as I can. Just stand by. There'll be someone there shortly. All right. Yes, may I help you?
I want to report a rape.
Who's the victim?
Me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can locate one of our women officers to take the report. Please sit down.
Why didn't you report this before? It's been 3 weeks.
I had been told that school security was handling it.
But it wasn't, right?
Right.
Have you thought about letting us use your name publicly?
Well, what would happen if I do that?
If your name's on the police blotter, it's available to the press. But you do have the right to withhold it and remain Jane Doe.
You see, I'm not so sure that my boyfriend is very thrilled about people knowing that I was raped.
I can understand that. It will make life more difficult for you both.
And that's what he said.
The situation at your school must not be allowed to continue. Do you realize, Sarah, that you could draw a lot of attention to it by telling your story? Yes? Thanks, Julie.
What would you do?
Only the woman who's been raped can answer that. Do you want the man who raped you caught? Or do you want him to be free so he can do it again?
I want him caught.
Do you want the violence at your school to go on unreported to the police? Do you want to take responsibility for more kids, more teachers getting hurt, maybe killed?
Not just a minute.
No, listen to me. If you don't speak out publicly and help us do our job, then you're just as guilty as the principal and all those others who help him keep things quiet.
I am not against speaking out about the violence in my school. But I'm not sure about advertising that I've been raped.
You can't do one without the other. Sarah McDavid can tell her story publicly and possibly bring in the rapist. But certainly she can start an investigation into what's going on at her school. Jane Doe can only be a statistic.
And I wanted you to know the whole story so that you can see once and for all what is happening at my school and others. Mine is not an inner city school. No one wanted me to come here. Nobody wanted me to talk about it. Not the principal, nor my parents, nor the man I hope to marry. I didn't even want to talk about it to anyone. I still don't. This isn't something that you want to talk about. You try to put it out of your life, but you dream about it every time you close your eyes. But I know now that the reason for bringing this out in the open far outweighs the embarrassment I feel. I want to continue teaching. I love teaching. Statistics don't mean a thing to anyone. Unless, of course, you happen to be one. That's what I am. I'm only one. Thousands of teachers who are assaulted every month in their classrooms. About 125,000 teachers report being threatened with bodily harm every month. More than that are afraid to report it. 41 million children go to school in America. And about 2.5 million of them are beaten up on the school grounds every year. That's about 280,000 a month. I have decided to go public, no matter how humiliating it is to be standing here. Hoping to God that I can reach you and make you see what is happening in our schools. I've come here to plead with you, to give us a chance to stay alive and be teachers. I beg you to help us to make our schools once again the islands of safety and learning that they used to be.